Hey again, everybody. I feel like it's been a while. We just got back this last week from a basically 10-day vacation to Montana. That's where my husband grew up, and his family, my family now, goes back every summer to a cabin that's a little bit outside of Missoula, and it's just this really special fun time tradition. And yeah, so I've been gone, and now we're back, and things are kind of settled in again. And yeah, so I decided it's probably time to do another video. Today I wanted to talk about the silver lining of having anxiety and depression. I think it's so important in our lives to always try and find the silver lining, try to find what's good in every scenario. And that's hard work. That's hard work to find the good when things don't always feel good, or things outside of our control have made, I don't know, our life, a chapter of our life, not easy. But if you can try to find the good, it's just, it's so important. And so one thing I was thinking about, especially with this trip to Montana, is I think it was 3 summers ago, maybe 2, but you know what? No, it was last summer. So 2 years ago, I had really started my journey. Well, I've always been on a journey for trying to better myself and really work through anxiety and depression, but I had really started a new chapter in the sense that I was going to counseling again and just really looking at my life and what makes me happy, what makes me tick, what doesn't work for me. And some days were easier than others, but okay, so I just have this one memory that I wanted to share with you guys that is just really special for me. And it was, so we were at the cabin, and it's on a lake. And I had gotten a minute to myself, and I was down on the water by myself, and I was swimming. And I remember coming up from the water and looking at my surroundings, and the sun was beating down on me, and the water was that perfect, refreshing cold where it's not too cold and it's not too warm. It just kind of wakes you up, but it also, you're not like, I have to get out right now. So everything like physically felt good. And then just looking around at my surroundings, I was just taken aback at the beauty of it. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm really happy right now. Like, I feel happy. I feel genuinely happy right now. And it was almost this like natural high that I had gotten. And I just remember telling myself, like, you need to remember this feeling. And so I just like was laying on my back floating and just really thinking about when I have those moments to really, really embrace them. And I think that when you have anxiety and depression, for me, the silver lining that I've found is that my lows can be really low, but when I have those highs of just feeling raw happiness, it's amazing. And I really can appreciate it, and I can really let it sink in, and I can really make a memory and be present. And I don't know if everyone can do that. Not that everyone can't feel happy, but I think it makes you not take those moments for granted if you're really looking for them and paying attention to it. And that is my silver lining with depression, is that I know what it feels like to feel like shit, but I also know what it feels like to feel good. And I like live for those moments, and I really try to create an environment around me and the people that I choose to have in my life, to continue to strive for moments like that, so that I can wake up and feel that way, so that I can function throughout the day and feel that way. I can go to bed feeling that way. And when I feel good and I feel happy, I know it, I'm aware of it, and I just embrace it. So yeah, I think that's my silver lining with that, is that I know what happiness feels like, and it's awesome. Something else I was thinking about was I posted some sort of quote. It didn't say who it was from, but on Instagram, and it says, love yourself first, because that's who you'll be spending the rest of your life with. And that really just hit a note with me. Of course, love yourself first, right? And it's true. You are the person that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with. And I think it's so easy in our society to get caught up in pleasing other people and making other people think that you've got your shit together, and just with social media. And I mean, I think it's always been that way, but I think social media kind of makes it worse. And I've always been a perfectionist, and I am an extrovert, so I really like people and I like being around people, and I do care what people think about me, and sometimes to a fault, but I've really put a lot of work in really figuring out who I am, what I like, what I don't like, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what type of people are healthy in my life, and people that aren't healthy for me. And I've just, like I said, I've put in the work to figure that out. And yeah, so I think part of my message today is to try, part of the work is, trying to figure out what makes you happy and what makes you tick. And so I wanted to share some of the things that I do that make me happy, and that also help with anxiety and depression. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you probably know that I have picked up the hobby of sewing. And man, it's been such a saving grace blessing that I discovered it for myself, because it's helped so much. I like being creative, I like art, I like crafts, but oftentimes with those things, you got to be sitting down and you have to have all this stuff with you, and it's not something you can take with you. But sewing's been great because I can take it with me. I can do it in the car, I can do it at night when I'm visiting with my husband, and still be like mentally present for him. But it's just this thing where it's a creative outlet for me that makes me feel better, and then it keeps my hands busy as well as my brain, while I'm also still being part of what's going on behind me. That's Chloe. And man, it's great. It really calms my mind by having so much going on that I'm doing. Like, it makes it so that my brain isn't going off in a million different directions, and it's really helpful. And it just makes me happy, and I like giving them away as gifts. That also makes me happy. So yeah, and I love coloring, and coloring is a great thing for me to do with my kids, which also makes me happy. I just feel better when I'm doing that. I love decorating. That's just a big part of me. If you've watched some of my videos before, you know that I love cleaning and I love things in order, and decorating for me is kind of like that. It just feels good to have things organized and look pretty, and that just kind of helps me feel happy to be in that type of environment, type of home, and it makes me feel proud. And it also makes me feel like I accomplished something, which I think, as being a stay-at-home mom, that is sometimes hard to do. Like, yes, I'm putting in work raising our kids and, making sure that all their needs are met, but not working outside of the house is kind of like, well, but what do I have that's for me? And decorating and cleaning are something that I can visually see that I've put work into, and again, that I'm proud of, and that makes me feel good. a couple years ago, I also started running, which I have talked about getting outside and getting fresh air and how that can be so helpful. And I never liked running, but my husband was training for a Ragnar race, which ironically I'm wearing a Ragnar shirt right now. And so he was running a lot, and I thought, well, I want to run too. And so we did. We ran together and we ran solo, and I just found a love for running. It just made me feel good inside and out. So I think if you can try and figure out the things that make you tick and that make you happy, and to try to do that when you can. And I know that's not always, you know, possible with time and family and friends and just life, but when you can, man, it does make a world of difference. And I think also I'm kind of on the journey of really, trying to figure out what those things are, because it's true. Love yourself first, because that's who you'll be spending the rest of your life with. So, you know, when my kids are older and they're out of the house and, you know, like, and I have more time, like, what am I going to be doing with myself? Like, I want to be doing things that make me happy. So I'm really just trying to explore all these different avenues for myself that I can do when I'm older as well, that just make me happy and make me happy currently. So anyways, maybe if you guys would like, you could message me or comment on things that you like that make you happy, and I would love to see that. Anyways, I hope that you guys are having a great start to your week, Monday. And yes, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.